Bloodhounds, head guard, a 5'3" sophomore from Yonkers, number 2, Jordan Ruiz. Head guard, a 5'9" junior from Poughkeepsie, number 13, Cameron Hammond. At center, a 6' sophomore from Yorktown Heights, number 20, Ashley Ziola. Head guard, a 5'6" junior from Brooklyn, number 23, Tiffany Vogel. And a forward, a 5'9" senior from Baruch, number 24, Reggie Healy. Head coach is Linda Day. The associate head coach is Andrew Taylor, and the assistant coaches of Robert. Now tonight's starting lineup for your Baruch College Bearcats. Head guard, the 5'5" sophomore from Boston, New York, number 2, Angela Baccarella. Head guard, the 4 sophomore from Brooklyn, number 3, Alyssa Leon. And home, the 5'8" freshman from Brooklyn, as well, the Andre McCray. And come, the 5'6" sophomore from Wayne, New Jersey, number 15, Paige Trader. And come, the 5'7" sophomore from Pleasant Valley, number 23, David Castillo. Head coach of the Bearcats in his 5th year, Michael Petrosis. The assistant coaches, Alicia Oler, Anna Caravangelis, and Kiana Clark. Now let's play ball.
And welcome inside the Arc Arena here on the campus of Baruch College. It's a Baruch Bearcats doubleheader as they host the John Jay Bloodhounds alongside Joe Stolzer. I'm David Just. Joe, Baruch coming in riding a 3-game win streak. Massive win here on Friday night against Lehman, trying to close out the season on a high.
Yeah, David, happy Tuesday, happy Valentine's Day to everybody in Baruch Nation. Every game now is a playoff game. Baruch is at home. Defend your home. And it all comes down to Maria Castillo, Alyssa Leong, Angela Baccarella, great supporting actor, if you will. Paige, it's really about Baruch taking care of their business. Good shot selection, not turning the ball over.
So it'll be Baruch in their home white jerseys. DeAndre McCray tipping it up against Ashley Ziola. John Jay in their road blues white trim, and they'll start with the ball on the offensive end. It's Hammond on the far side, and she'll dribble it back up top. And Joe, a tough test today. This John Jay team coming in on the season 16-8 so far, 10-3 in the CUNYAC.
Yeah, but Baruch is capable on any night to, win if they play their game. I'd like to see John Jay stop Castillo. So we hope to see Castillo get off to a good start. That's big for her.
And Baruch able to force a turnover on the opening possession there, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats as it's Leong on the far side wing. Castillo pops out, takes it up top. Bloodhound setting up in a 2-3 zone. Leong on the far side. Hammond out to contest, no good on the shot from Leong, and Healy on the rebound. It'll be Ruiz to bring it into the front court.
McCray did have some room for a mid-range jumper before passing.
Shot there by Bogle, way long, and it's going to go, they're going to say it goes off Baccarella last, and it'll stay underneath with the Bloodhounds.
Good position by Baccarella, who was the unsung hero of this team.
Quick find right there. It's Bogle underneath. She's a little short on the jumper, but Ziola underneath to clean things up. And John Jay have the first points of the night.
Well, Baruch has to really box out, find their man.
Leong has it up top. Ball getting moved around the perimeter here for the Bearcats. Castillo's going to pull an open three. Defense sagged off a little bit. Shot no good. It's Baccarella and Bogle getting tied up, and it's going to stay there with the Bearcats. And a nice hustle play there by Baccarella to give the Bearcats a second chance.
The Italian stallion doing the intangibles for this team.
So Trainer on the far side now gives it off to Leong. Leong in the lane, free throw line jumper, and she's able to get the Bearcats on the board. Nice mid-range play there by Alyssa Leong.
Well, that's Alyssa's thing, is that mid-range shot.
And Ziola up ahead of the pack, finishes with the right hand.
That's too close, and no defense by the Lady Bearcats.
Bounce pass to the near side. Baccarella is going to shoot from the mid-range. She hits the bottom of the net.
To the delight of the Baccarella family.
She's had a nice support section here all season long, has Angela Baccarella. Now the ball's moved up top. It's Healy. Straight on, gives it off to Ziola inside. Ziola going right back to that right hand. Shot no good. Healy able to clean it up. And they're going to say she took too many steps, and it's going to go back to Baruch.
Well, the Bearcats have to answer Ziola. That's 3 times she's really had good looks at the basket.
We've talked about it in the past, Joe. Sometimes it's where she catches the ball, and she's been getting it in deep and able to go to that preferred right hand.
Exactly. Well, they're going to have to force it to her left. Yeah, that's a great point.
So now Leung here on the near side, over to Trainer up top. Baruch at 10 to shoot. Baccarella, far near side jumper off front rim, no good. And Ziola comes away, that's actually Hammond who comes away with the rebound for the Bloodhounds. Up ahead to Healy. Southpaw jump shot, no good from the elbow. Castillo quickly the other way for the Bearcats. We have a nice tempo developing here at the Arc Arena. Shot no good, but McCray is able to get the rebound, gives it back to Castillo just inside the free throw line. Ooh, off front rim, no good. And you'll want to see her get into a rhythm early tonight here, Joe.
Yeah, Castillo again off to a recent cold start. But who's going to pick up the slack for Castillo? That's been the question mark all year for the Lady Bearcats.
So it'll be ball right in front of the Baruch bench. Hammond has it on the near side. Takes it to the top of the key. Gives it off to Ruiz on the far side wing. Leung all over her. Now inside to Healy. Healy closed out by McCray. Given off to Hammond on the near side. Takes the pick from Healy. And Castillo takes it from Hammond. She's going to go coast to coast here. Castillo gets it stripped. And it's going to stay right there with the Bearcats. Castillo, though, very fortunate on that one.
Yeah, normally Castillo will go right to the basket. She slowed up there.
And great defense there by Hammond to not fall for the pump fake and stay between her and the basket. As now Leung takes the pick from McCray, and they're going to call an offensive on McCray on the pick, and it's going to go back to the Bloodhounds.
Well, you don't see that from McCray often. I think, David, that's the first one all year, an illegal screen by McCray.
We've also seen Baruch go to the pick and roll a bit more over the last few games as well, Joe. They've ran it effectively. Something to take note of, as they've also had a 3-game win streak going into the playoffs.
Well, with Leung, she's very, great basketball IQ, makes great decisions. Pick and roll, one of her great decisions.
And a near side 3 from Hammond off front rim. Ball's batted around. Bogle gets the rebound. Her shot too strong. Ziola inside. And it's going to be a timeout for Coach Catrozo's 30-second timeout with 6:13 remaining here in the first. Baruch trailed by 2. You're watching doubleheader between John Jay and Baruch on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. So Coach Catrozo's not happy with the defense. The Bloodhounds getting second, third, and fourth opportunities
David,
here in the early going.
From where we're sitting, you can see 5 Lady Baruch just looking. You got to be aggressive in this. If we look at the stats, the offensive boards for John Jay, not good.
Already 5 offensive rebounds here in the first 4 minutes. And it's those second and third opportunities that'll kill you. Castillo, deep shot, no good. McCray able to get that rebound, goes right into the lane. Her shot blocked by Bogle, and it's going to stay right there underneath. Bearcats will have 16 to shoot as Grant and Altamirano check into the game.
So far, no touches for Trainer. She needs to be a perimeter scorer tonight against John Jay's defense. She hasn't touched the ball yet.
So Green and Edwards into the game for the first time. A couple swapping out of some guards here for the Bloodhounds as Castillo trying to get it inbounds. Gets Leung on the far side. Edwards on her. Grant pops out for the pick. Instead, it'll be into the hands of Castillo, who comes across the front court. Castillo, little hesitation move. Has 4 seconds to shoot. She loses it. And it's going to be a shot clock violation and go back to the Bloodhounds.
Well, that was the case of Castillo, too much dribbling. If Baruch is effective, they're going to have to swing the ball around the perimeter.
Yeah, Joe, just wasting too much time on the offensive end, getting into their set way too late.
And it was going nowhere because she really wasn't, planning anything.
Ooh, Ziola bumps off of Grant. Nice D there by Grant to hold her ground. And it's Altamirano who comes away with the rebound. It'll be into the hands of Leung, brings it across the Bearcat symbol, and now Leung has it up top.
Well, Castillo needs to come up to the wing.
Now Leung finds Altamirano in the corner, up top to Castillo. Nice ball movement by the Bearcats. Castillo looking for options, takes the pick from Grant right. Mid-range jumper from Castillo off right rim, no good. And it'll be Green who comes away with it, trying to find Ziola ahead of the pack. Castillo might have got a hand on it. Ziola right to the lane, shot no good. They're going to say Castillo bumped into her, and that'll be the first on Castillo, and that'll send Ziola to the line to shoot two.
And Ziola actually went to the left there. Almost made it. So Ziola, a problem here in the first period for Baruch.
Also, in those instances, Joe, if you're going to foul, you got to make sure that she doesn't have the clean look as well.
Yeah, Baruch defensively a little off tonight.
As Ziola knocks down the first.
Body language is a little bit off. Again, they're just looking a lot instead of really getting into it.
Ziola only a 62% free throw shooter on the season. And off on the second, but the ball gets batted right to the hands of Green. Goes back up, but then is able to lay it in.
Well, I'm going to keep track, David, of all the offensive rebounds because I think that's going to be a story tonight of what Baruch didn't do.
So it'll be McCray up top, gives it off to Grant on the near side. Leung in the corner. Altamirano posted up. And now Grant takes her place, gives it up to Altamirano up top. Castillo has it, working on Green. Goes into the lane, shot no good off left rim. And they're going to say it went off McCray last, then it'll go back to John Jay.
Well, Paige is back in the game, and it would be great if she could start to knock down some threes, but they need to move the ball and get it to her. She hasn't had any touches.
Baruch shooting 2 of 11 from the field to start the game. As Hammond has it up top. Drives against Leung, bounce pass inside. It's Bogle on the near side, shot off front rim, no good. Once again, Green able to get the rebound and put it right back in.
Well, Grant has got to help out rebounding-wise as well as Trainer.
We're talking about a 5'5 guard who's had back-to-back offensive rebounds for the Bloodhounds, as now Leung has it on the far side, gives it up to Altamirano. Now Castillo on the near side, jab step. Castillo at the free throw line, gives it off to Altamirano here on the near side. Elbow, who knocks down her first shot of the game. And it couldn't be more clutch right now for the Bearcats trying to stop some of that bleeding.
Much needed basket. And like I said, then when is Trainer going to get her first touch? We're deep into the first quarter. And in past games, David, she's been lighting it up.
She's been on a bit of a hot stretch, as have the Bearcats. And also Bearcats beneficiary of a travel there from John Jay. So they have an opportunity to cut into this 5-point deficit as the ball's into the hands of Trainer inside to Grant. Grant goes right inside. Her shot was blocked there by Bogle. And now it's Edwards coming the other way. She'll pull it back out. And back to Hammond. Ball swung around the perimeter. Healy on the near side. And she's able to knock down the mid-range jumper.
Well, Castillo, again, he needs to get going.
Grant pulls it up from the near side baseline, and she gets her first basket of the night. Nice shot there by Shantira Grant.
Yeah, Grant can make that shot.
Dangerous pass there from Hammond. It does get through, though, to Green. However, Castillo was trying to track that down. Now Hammond gives it inside to Bogle. She's fouled and one as Grant's a little late to get over, and Bogle will go to the line to shoot a free throw.
All the John Jay baskets coming from around the basket. You can pinpoint. I know they've hit a couple outside shots, but it's mainly around the basket. So by committee, Baruch is going to have to really tighten up underneath Trainer, Grant, Castillo.
I think they're going to – are they calling that on Grant? And that's going to go back to the Bloodhounds. So the Bloodhounds catch a lucky break there. They're going to say it was an off-ball foul.
Yeah, we didn't even see Grant near her.
Bogle pops out, gets the inbound, and it's an easy basket.
Well, that's the word, easy. John Jay's getting easy baskets.
And so they got to fix the clock here and the scoreboard as well. There seems to be a glitch in the system. So there's going to be a moment's break here.
I'll tell you, David, Baruch, lucky to be, in the position they're in.
So just getting all the score and technical stuff cleared out of the way. And we're back underway here as Castillo has it. Sorry for the break there. We were trying to get an understanding of what was happening as well. And it'll be Grant here on the near side elbow. Gives it off to Castillo. She'll step back for a three. Shot no good. Ball batted out. Multiple hands got on it. It's going to be Green and Castillo who hit the deck. They're going to call a jump ball.
Great hustle by Castillo. We're still waiting for her to kind of get going offensively, and I think Baruch really needs that now to separate themselves.
Ooh, Castillo, that's like the third time we've seen it. Almost comes away with the steal. However, Green, step back shot, no good. But Bogle on the rebound once again for John Jay. Ball batted around. Healy on the rebound and able to lay it in easy. And once again, third opportunities killing the Bearcats here in the first quarter.
David, we know what Coach K is going to be yelling about in the locker room at halftime. We know that.
If it makes it to halftime, Joe. As Altamirano has it up top. Castillo kicks out, crossover move. Now gives it over to Grant on the near side. She'll pull a shot, a little short, no good. Altamirano gets the rebound. Trainer's going to pull a three. Ooh, around and out. That one was about halfway down. Bogle on the rebound.
Well, it's good to see Trainer, getting a touch.
They're going to call a double dribble there on Cheyenne Kelly. So Bearcats catching a lucky break there.
Bearcats defense has been good, but not in the interior area.
So Leung has it on the far side, gives it over to Baccarella. Leung's going to take the pick from Altamirano. Altamirano pops out, and now it's Grant here on the near side. Ball swung around the perimeter. Encarnacion. She'll put it on the deck, take the pick from Grant, give it over to Leung on the far side. Leung into the lane, gives it over to Altamirano. Thinks about the shot. Nope, took a travel, and it's going to go back to John Jay.
Well, without Castillo in the lineup, who is going to now step up and score?
So Hammond checks back into the game.
They're going to have to try and go down low to Grant, and she's going to have to throw it back out again for some scoring possibilities.
So Kelly over to Hammond up top. Green at the free throw line, inside to Ziola. Her shot that looks like it was blocked, and she's fouled this time by Baccarella underneath, and Ziola will go to the line to shoot two with 51 seconds remaining here in the first.
Well, Ziola going to her left. We thought she was going to her right, but now she came back to her left. So she's going to be somebody that Baruch really has to worry about moving forward here.
And Ziola rattles home the first. And Baruch, Joe, very capable of making a run. They're going to need one here to start the second to stay in this game, as it's going to go off Hammond last.
Well, it's very important moving forward that the Baruch Lady Bearcats have a second option other than Castillo. We know what Castillo means to this team in offense, but when she's not available, who's the second option offensively?
Grant, jab step. Oh, gets that ball stripped from her. It's going to go off Grant last. Nice play there by Kelly to get a hand in, and it's going to go back to John Jay with 35 seconds.
Grant was going into tight real estate, not a lot of room.
So Hammond, ball swung around the perimeter over to Kelly. Kelly far side three. Shot no good. Rebounded underneath by Green. Green gives it off to Ziola, and she's able to lay it in over the outstretched hand of Encarnacion and Altamirano. Now Encarnacion near side, 12 seconds for the Bearcats to work with. Leung takes the pick from Grant, behind the back dribble, step back shot, Bogle blocks it. Hammond comes away with it. He's gonna have to chuck it up, and that won't go. And with that, Baruch go into the end of the first, trailing by 14, 22-8. We'll be right back with second quarter action between John Jay and the Bearcats. So we're moments away from the start of the second quarter. Baruch going into the break, 20 down, 22-8. Need to turn around quick here, Joe, to start this second quarter and really get, everyone going.
Well, Castillo is absent at the moment. She's back in the lineup. Paige Trainer has only had one touch. And on defensive side, they have no answer for the interior play of John Jay.
So the ball into the hands of Castillo here on the near side. She's going all the way in, kicks it back outside, over to Leung up top. Out to Castillo, far side. She's going to shoot the three. Shot a bit short, no good. And Victoria Brown just checked into the game, runs down that rebound. And now Hammond into the front court for the Bloodhounds. Gives it over to Ziola. Ziola into the lane, working on Grant. Hammond steps out of bounds as she catches it. She had the lane baseline, but there was that first step that caught her, and it'll go back to the Bearcats.
Well, every possession, again, emphasis on Ziella. And if she doesn't score, we haven't seen like a secondary person.
So Castillo has it. Up top to Leung. Over to Castillo, inside to Grant. Grant, shot around and out, no good, and it's going to be Brown who comes away with the rebound. That one was halfway down.
Right under the free throw line, there's room for Grant or McCray to work.
Nice spin move from Brown. Shot no good, and it's going to be the Bearcats who come out with it. Baccarello specifically, and gives it over to Leung, who brings it into the front court.
Baruch is letting John Jay have their way right near the basket.
A good D there by the Bloodhounds, and it'll stay with the Bearcats right underneath. It'll be Castillo to inbound. Healy checking into the game as Bogle will come to the bench.
Bearcats have McCray and Grant in the game, so they can go inside or inside the foul line.
Ooh, dangerous pass from Grant, and Hammond comes away with it. It was trying to go out to Leung, and Hammond able to spin and score as Leung hits the deck.
Well, Grant just threw a pass that really was going nowhere.
So over to Baccarello on the far side. Baccarello, she's almost double teamed there. Hammond slid it way over in the zone, and it's almost like a 1-3-1 here for John Jay. It's now kind of looks like a 3-2 as McCray gets it, is able to finish against Brown inside.
Well, that's vintage Castillo McCray.
And Healy right into the lane and finishes with the left hand, catching Baruch in transition, and Coach Catrozos wants to talk things over. Baruch trail by 16. We'll be right back with more Bearcats basketball. You're watching Baruch College Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. So a little bit more than 2 minutes gone here in the second. Coach Katrozos wanted to talk things over. And if you're Coach K, you got to figure out how you're going to score some points and on the other end really stop this Bloodhound team who's had their way inside so far.
David, I think the offense would come around for Baruch, but defensively it's just openings for John Jay to score at will. But, David, they're scoring at will inside. Now, we can count on our finger the outside shots for John Jay.
Only 2 threes taken here in the first 12 minutes of action as Leung has it on the near side wing. Castillo replaces her, gets the ball. Nice crossover move past Ziola. Gives it inside to McCray. Ball swung around the perimeter. Now Leung has it. Good closeout there by Brown. Over to Baccarella on the far side. 10 seconds to shoot. Castillo jab step on Healy. She'll pull from the free throw line. No good. Castillo still looking for her first basket tonight. That's 0 of 8. Make it 0 of 9 from the field. Now Brown, step back shot around and out. That one was halfway down, and Leung comes out of the pack with it for the Bearcats. Hammond out on Leung. Near far side, to Baccarella.
So Baruch has to try to get back in this game one possession at a time. But where is that one possession?
Trainer up top, gives it off to Leung. Ooh, McCray has great position inside. They just can't find her. Baccarella's going to have to shoot. Nope, out to Leung. Leung's going to pull the shot. Off back rim, no good. And Hammond up to Ruiz, now up ahead to Brown. Brown working on Leung, and she's able to get the elbow jumper to go. Now McCray going to work inside. High arcing right shot with the right hand. That one was halfway down. Can't fall for the Bearcats.
Well, McCray again is getting good position, and Castillo looks to find her as she does every game.
Now Ruiz going inside to Healy. Nice find there. Healy goes up with it. Can't finish, but she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I don't know how Healy caught that ball because it was so tight in there.
So a couple changes here for the Bloodhounds as Healy is off on the first. Healy struggling from the line this season, only 63% up. As she goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
If they swing it, McCray will get open as John Jay's defense moves, but Baruch has to swing it to get that opening.
Or you have to overload. You have to either get. Also, it helps when you have that extra person between the layers of the zone, kind of at that free throw line, playing almost inside out. So you use that as a conduit to get the ball deeper. Or you have to overload really one side, and then, and as you said, Joe, swing the ball quickly back to the weak side.
Yeah, Baruch has not done that. They have not been swinging the ball. It's been kind of one-sided, and that's an advantage to the defense of John Jay. They don't really have to worry about the other side.
And it's going to be a traveling from Green, so it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
Well, the engine is really waiting to be turned on here. Castillo looking to get out of Ofer.
So now Castillo on the far side. Crossover move, goes into the lane. Nice find to McCray, and she's able to finish and stop the run from the Bloodhounds,
well,
29-12.
Castillo as a facilitator is really good as usual.
And Brown, free throw line jumper, no good. Long rebound into the hands of Leung, and she's going to push the other way. Leung slowed things up. Crossover move. Pulls it back. Nice find there from Castillo to Encarnacion. She looked like she hit some contact. No call.
I think, yeah, they should have called something there.
Yeah, it looked like a nice chase back from Leung. Back checking there. Ooh, what? Oh, wow. That would have been a ridiculous bounce pass through about 3 defenders. Got intercepted, though, and Healy's able to lay it in at the other end. And that's what John Jay's been doing all night, Joe.
Yeah.
They'll catch you in transition and really get you running.
Well, Baruch, that was because of a turnover from Baruch. But that pass from Leung in normal games would got through, not tonight.
And Castillo turns it over, trying to find McCray underneath. And it's Green the other way, going right against Trainer. And they're going to call a foul there on Trainer, and it'll be number 10, Bobby Green, going to the line to shoot 2.
This is an interesting matchup, as every game is. John Jay and the way they play is really seemed to be a problem for Baruch. Uncharacteristic.
And Green off on the first. And can't get the second to go. Baruch lucking out on that one, and a fortunate bounce for the Bearcats.
So an opportunity for Baruch, one possession at a time. We want to get the lead to 10 going into halftime if possible.
Crossover move from Castillo, goes into the lane. She puts it up, and one. Count it. And the foul, and Castillo will go to the line for an old school three-point play. And Joe, if that can help her get into rhythm, I think the free throw is also a quality opportunity as well. A nice open shot. See that that ball drop.
Plenty of time in this quarter, 4 or 5, for the Bearcats and Castillo to get on track. I'd like to see Baruch bring the lead down to 10 going into the locker room.
So Castillo good on the free throw.
So this is a big defensive stand here for the Lady Bearcats. Coming off a three-point play.
A nice move there by Hammond, able to finish. Castillo right at the free throw line. Couple crossovers, gives it out to Leung. Leung calling out the offense. Encarnacion here on the near side, over to Castillo. Castillo bounce pass inside to McCray. McCray, a little too strong, gets her own rebound. She was fouled on the way up. They're going to say it was Bogle, and that's going to send McCray to the line to shoot 2.
One thing you're always going to get, good times and bad, is the extra effort from Baccarella, McCray. Some of these players that you don't see, they're not they're not scoring 30, 35, but they're just working every possession so hard.
And McCray knocks down the first. And can't get the second to go, but Trainer runs that rebound down. I think I say she took too many steps, and it's going to go back to John Jay. I didn't see that, Joe. That's a rough call.
That's a tough call. He blew the whistle, and there was no movement from her.
So Edwards will bring it up into the front court for John Jay. Green has it on the near side. Bogle covered by Trainer, trying to get it inside to Healy. Now it's over to Green. Leung all over her. Crossover move by Green, working in the paint. A nice move there by Green to establish position and lay it in off glass.
Well, that's been the story of the first half, establishing position by John Jay.
So now Castillo on the far side. Looks for the shot, gives it over to Encarnacion. Now to Leung on the near side. Gives it inside to McCray. She's quickly doubled. McCray shot a little too strong on the reverse, and it'll be up ahead to Hammond now for John Jay. Finds Healy cutting back door. Can't hit. I think Leung got a hand in Healy's face. Good D there by the Bearcats to run back. And now it's Castillo. Gives it over to Encarnacion. Castillo on the pick. Ball swung around the perimeter. Trainer inside to McCray. Bounce pass outside to Leung. Trying to get it inside to McCray. Bogle swipes that one away. Now up top to Hammond. Hammond gets past Encarnacion. Gives it inside to Healy. Healy dribbles it back out. And it's going to be a 3 on the near side here from Greens. That shot's way off, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
Yeah, they're trying to utilize McCray, but there's not a lot of room. Kind of John Jay swarming around her.
So Castillo has it on the near side wing. Takes the pick from McCray. Bounce pass up top to Leung. Leung back to Castillo up top. Hammond out on her, over to Encarnacion. Baccarella on the near side, 8 seconds to shoot. Baruch have to do something here. Encarnacion, crossover move into the lane. Her shot was blocked, ball still loose. Baccarella's got to get it up, and it's going to be a shot clock violation, and it's going to go back to the Bloodhounds.
This John Jay team has a lot of length that is really, been a deterrent for Baruch's shots.
And Ziola this time able to finish inside.
Well, Ziola's been quiet. John Jay's, found other weapons.
Bounce pass inside. That was sloppy trying to get it to McCray. Ziola gets a hand on it. Now Healy going right into the lane. Can't finish. Hammond gets the rebound, and she's able to finish with the left hand.
John Jay has figured out that Baruch wants to go to McCray, so the Bearcats are going to have a second option here.
So McCray has it up top. Gives it off to Castillo. It's going to be an offensive foul off the ball. Moving pick on Leung, and it's going to go back to John Jay.
Well, the Bearcats are going to have to go into the locker room and just take a deep breath and, just come out like the game just started in the third quarter. Put this behind them.
Nothing to lose attitude as well. It's going to be a foul underneath on Baccarella. Excuse me, actually it's going to be on McCray.
Yeah, Lady Bearcats have just been off in what they're trying to do slightly.
And Ziola going to the line now to shoot two as that foul puts the Bloodhounds in the bonus. And Ziola knocks down the first. And good on the second.
Well, it would be nice if the Lady Bearcats can get a basket before the half ends.
So Encarnacion has it on the far side, gives it off to McCray. Castillo outside to Encarnacion. She's going to pull a three. Shot strong, no good. Hammond comes away with it for John Jay. Hammond up ahead to Ziola. Pass was behind her, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats with 24.8 remaining here in the half.
Well, McCray was, on top of Ziola, but went out of bounds. So, again, Baruch looking for a basket to go into the locker room with.
So Castillo has to do something. Gives over to Baccarella. Now over to Encarnacion in the corner. Shot no good. Long rebound batted out into the hands of Healy. And that will do it for the first half in the Arc Arena between John Jay and Baruch. Baruch go into the locker room trailing by 25, 41-16. We'll be back with second half action after halftime. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. And welcome back to the Arc Arena. It's the first game of your doubleheader between John Jay and your Baruch College Bearcats. Bearcats really struggling, Joe, in the first half. Trail 41-16 at the break. Going to have to do something quick here in the third to get to cut into this deficit.
David, John Jay, points from turnovers, 17 for John Jay, 2 for Baruch. 32 points in the paint for John Jay, 6 for Baruch. Second chance points, 17 for John Jay, 3 for Baruch. So there's this really telltale statistics on why Baruch is down 41-16. Now, you know, anything can happen. New life, second half. They talked about what they need to do in the locker room, and let's see which Baruch team comes out.
Yeah, and Joe, I think you know, the first 3 to 5 minutes will be real telling here in the third to see if the Bearcats can get back into this one. They're going to have to make a move pretty quick.
First thing you want to do, get the lead down to around 10, and then you're in good shape. That's just a big thing about basketball, 10, and you work down from there. But Castillo is not the normal Castillo that CUNY knows tonight. And hopefully she had a nice break at halftime, and she's ready to become the Castillo we know and everybody's expecting. But who's going to be her help?
Yeah, and we've seen it in a couple games. Castillo really getting a slow start to the game. 1 of 11 in the first half was Mia, as Hammond has it up top for the Bloodhounds. It's Castillo out on her. Healy on the near side. Ziola calling for it. Gives it off to Bogle. Near side jumper from Bogle. And not the start you want if you're the Bearcats. Mid-range jumper. You got to like them letting John Jay settle for that. But Bogle's able to knock it down.
Well, that's the mid-range side. They've been successful and close. So Baruch doesn't want another problem of having them, you know, open it up. Now, Trainer was quiet in the first half.
Baccarella, far side jumper, no good. Ball still loose. Castillo gets that rebound after it was batted around. Castillo into the lane. High shot, no good, and Hammond comes away with it for John Jay. Inside to Ziola. Ziola going to work against Trainer. Nice spin move, and Ziola able to finish with the right hand.
Well, Ziola can either go left or right, and she's been a problem since the jump ball.
Now Leung, far side jumper, and that she gets that one to go. That rattled all the way around. They're going to call that a 2.
Well, maybe Leon could be that secondary option for Baruch.
And Healy able to finish inside for John Jay. Feels like the tempo's picked up a little bit here in the second half, Joe, too.
Well, Baruch has come out with a sense of urgency, and they really need to chip away. But they can't let John Jay get into comfortable modes, which John Jay seems to find.
So now it's Baccarella on the far side, gives it off to Castillo. Jab step from Castillo, gives it off to Encarnacion. Starting the second half is Sophia, now over to Leung. Ball swung around the perimeter to Baccarella. McCray has possession inside. 7 seconds to shoot for the Bearcats. Leung behind the back dribble, gives it off to McCray. McCray shot blocked though by Ziola inside. And Ziola up ahead to Hammond right in front of us here. Hammond right into the lane. High off the glass, and she's able to get the ball to go. Nice English on that one from Hammond.
Hammond getting away with a travel, but again, there's that interior success by John Jay.
And dangerous pass there from Baccarella. Castillo runs it down. Mid-range shot is good from Mia Castillo.
Well, that's good that we've heard from Castillo, and let's see if that could spark something for Baruch.
Now Ziola takes too many steps, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
Now Baruch has to swing the ball in offense and open up some possibilities for themselves to get shooters free. Grant was free for a minute.
Encarnacion shot just a little too short. Bogle comes away with the rebound. Up ahead to Ziola, cutting to the basket, and one. They're going to say the foul there was on Encarnacion, and that'll send Ziola to the line to shoot a free throw.
Well, Baruch's defense never got a chance to get set.
Ziola knocks down the free throw. So a three-point play there from Ziola. And John Jay has stepped on the gas here to start the third. Leung has it up top. 2-3 zone from the Bloodhounds. Ball moved around the perimeter. Now inside to Castillo. Castillo finds Leung. Nice ball movement there. McCray shot a bit too strong. No good. Ziola on the rebound. Up ahead to Healy on the far side. Bounce pass to Bogle. Bogle's able to corral it and finish with the right hand. And it's going to be a timeout for Coach Katrozos with 6:52 remaining. His team trailing by 34.
Baruch had a great chance to score. McCray just couldn't get hold of the ball. But John Jay just doing whatever they want first half and into this beginning of second half.
So both teams going to break the huddle here, Joe, and John Jay just picking right up where they left off here from the first.
Yeah, they seem to be playing.
So it'll be Bearcats basketball with 6:52 remaining here in the third quarter. Baruch trailing by 34. It'll be Leung to walk things up for the Bearcats.
Yeah, John Jay seems to be playing on another level from Baruch, doing really whatever they want.
So now Castillo outside to Leung. Gives it off to Castillo on the far side. Mid-range shot, no good. Ooh, nice strip there from Encarnacion. She needs options, though. Gives it off to Castillo. Looks like her shot blocked from behind by Healy. And John Jay able to escape a backcourt turnover there. So now it's Ziola inside to Healy. Her shot no good. Healy gets it a few times and one.
Well, three's a charm.
And so Altamirano will check into the game for Encarnacion. Foul there was on Grant. That's her second. And Healy knocks it down. So Leung brings it into the front court for the Bearcats. Healy out on her. Ooh, and it's coming the other way now with Hammond. She goes underhand layup, no good. And they're going to say there was a foul underneath. I think it's going to be on Leung.
Yeah, Hammond had a full, head of steam going to the basket. So John Jay, David, has had their foot on the gas pedal the whole game, and they've had Baruch, retreating.
And Baruch right now battling for the 3 seed here. Fortunate news to tell everyone, Hunter currently with a stranglehold against City College, 82-39. So it looks like Hunter will get the 3 seed if Baruch can't make a comeback here tonight.
Yeah, David, basketball is a game of matchups. And John Jay has posed a tough matchup for the Lady Bearcats tonight.
And it will be John Jay and Brooklyn who have the bye here in the first round of the CUNYAC, with Baruch hosting a game at 3 p.m. in the playoffs on Saturday afternoon as Healy knocks down the mid-range jumper from the far side.
Well, again, John Jay so successful in the interior, and they've come out in the second half and done some damage from the perimeter.
Now Grant has it up top, gives it off to McCray. McCray trying to drive baseline, dribbles it off her leg, and it's going to go back to John Jay.
Well, Mitchell, very capable bench player for the Lady Bearcats, could start for a lot of teams, and let's see if she could provide some spark.
Yep, good call, Joe. That was Mitchell underneath, not McCray. As Ziola now going to work. Nice move with the left hand, and she must have heard me talking about her in the first half, saying she can only go right. Nice move there with the left.
Well, Ziola's ambidextrous. One of the things interesting, Paige Trainer tonight, I believe 1 or 2 touches.
And no points so far. 1 shot in 14 minutes of action.
So you know it's a strange night.
Green driving baseline against Baccarella. Shot no good. Ooh. That's going to be a traveling call on Green. She rolled her ankle, I think, underneath as well. So she'll be down for just a minute as...
Yeah, you hate to see these athletes get injured. They're playing so hard.
And Green having a strong night for the Bloodhounds. So 7 rebounds, a pair of assists, a steal, and 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting, only in only 12 minutes of action. So having a strong night, and she'll come to the sideline with a little assistance here from Coach Day and the training staff here at the Arc Arena.
Yeah, hopefully she can do a Patrick Mahomes. They tape her up and she can come right back out there.
So Kelly checks into the game for John Jay. It'll be Bearcats basketball as Green traveled as she went down. Really, maybe no fault of her own there, Joe, on the travel. But
no, she might have stepped on somebody's foot. But now the thing here, David, Baruch has to really look at what's happening here. You have these games where things just don't work, but they've had a great season, and they need to find themselves.
Yeah, I mean, with a team with no upperclassmen, Joe, you have to be happy with hosting a playoff game here, you know, and definitely building upon last year.
Yeah, they just have to figure out when things aren't going well, how do you remedy that? That's, you know, maturity and, you know, the mark of a good team.
Now Ziola inside, bounce pass outside to the near side to Ruiz. Ruiz goes all the way through the baseline, over to Edwards, back to Ruiz now on the far side wing. Ruiz into the lane. Nope, took too many steps before she gave it to Ziola, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
And their leader, Mia Castillo, is not having a good game, so you could tell that it's affecting her teammates. And so they have to really, you know, forget that and find another way to get it done.
And a big shot there from 3 from Altamirano. So a nice possession there from the Bearcats. Healy the other way, though, able to establish possession inside.
Well, Altamirano has proven she can hit the shots. But again, John Jay comes right back and answers.
So Encarnacion now has it over to Trainer up top. 3 there from Encarnacion. She banks it in. Big shot there from Sophia Encarnacion.
Yeah.
Now it's Kelly into the lane. Mid-range jumper, and that's good. And just put your hand down for just a second, and Kelly took advantage.
Well, that's it. John Jay has immediately come back and answered when Baruch has been hitting to keep this lead.
And so Altamirano gives it off to Trainer. Trainer into the lane. Bounce pass outside to Baccarella on the far side. Ooh, that ball gets stripped. And it was, looks like Edwards who comes away with it. Up ahead to Ruiz. Can't finish. Baccarella comes away with it, and now Leung going to push. Up ahead to Altamirano. Ooh, dribbles it off her leg. She hits the deck as well. They're going to call a foul on Altamirano as Jillian Powell is the one who comes away with it, and it'll go back to the Bloodhounds.
So Baruch again, passing-wise today, they haven't been successful. It's been a tough day. John Jay seems to be, in the right place at the right time.
So pass outside. That's Powell on the far side. Shot no good. Trainer comes down with that rebound. And it'll be Encarnacion into the front court. Trainer back to Encarnacion. Near side to Altamirano. Out to Encarnacion. Looking at the basket. Gives it over to Trainer. Swung it to Leung. Leung wide open three on the far side. Shot too strong. No good. And they're going to call a foul on 44 Powell. I was going to say, I didn't know how that was going back to the Bloodhounds, and it's going to stay right there with the Bearcats.
Leung, in spite of everything, has been working incredibly hard. McCray went in the game working incredibly hard. These things aren't indicated in the score.
Altamirano shots off right into the hands of McCray, though. Can't finish with the right hand. A little too strong, and it's going to go back to John Jay with Kelly bringing it into the front court. Pull up there from Bogle. Shot no good. But Bogle's able to, it's going to be the Bearcats to come away with it. Now Leung ahead of the pack. Edwards trying to chase her down. Leung a little too strong on the shot. No good.
Great passing to a cutting Leung. She just shot it too hard. But listen, Baruch is still playing. This team on the floor is still playing really very hard.
And Baruch, if they are the 4 seed, will welcome, looks like, York to the Arc Arena. They played York twice this season. January 31st here at the Arc, they won 69-55. And then at York College on January 3rd, they won 57-53. As Trainer shot no good, ball batted out, and it'll be Ruiz who runs it down.
Well, whomever Baruch plays in the playoffs, they're going to have to play the way we know they can play. And, again, protecting their home court.
A nice shot there from Ruiz, if she's able to get that one to rattle home. Under 20 seconds remaining here in the third. Encarnacion has it. Gives it to Altamirano. Back to Encarnacion. 7 seconds on the game clock, Out to Leung on the far side. She pulls a three, shot too strong. Powell comes away with the rebound, and that will do it. At the end of the third quarter, Baruch trail large. You're watching the first game of the doubleheader between John Jay and your Baruch College Bearcats on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. And welcome back to the Arc Arena. Baruch trail big going into the fourth here. If you're just tuning in, don't forget, after this game, the men's game between John Jay and your Baruch College Bearcats will have a senior celebration for Michael Gannon, the only senior playing between the two Bearcat teams tonight, Joe. A bit of a rarity, but the women's Bearcat team, a lot of underclassmen, and the Baruch team, just not too many graduates.
Again, and a tremendous addition to John Alisi's attack this year. And, boy, he's like a Kevin McHale. And again, for the Lady Bearcats, young team, but they play with a lot of maturity.
So it'll be Mitchell the other way.
Lady Bearcats shot 22% in that third quarter. John Jay 66.
And, you know, and any team is going to struggle defensively when you're letting up 66% from the field.
Yeah, and it's the way John Jay scores. I mean, they just kind of like football players advancing the ball into the end zone. They get in deep and they, they score.
So now Edwards, too many steps, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
Well, again, I keep emphasizing here in the fourth quarter, things haven't gone Baruch's way, but they have to have a short memory. And Saturday's going to come very quickly, and they're going to have to come out, guns a-blazing, and do what Baruch does.
So entry pass from McCray gets batted by Edwards. Now they're going to try to find Edwards ahead of the pack. They do. She'll go coast to coast and lay it in with the left hand.
And it's going to take leadership from Castillo and Leong to talk to their teammates and say, forget about it. Let's get back to doing what we do.
Encarnacion now on the far side. Ooh, inside to Grant. Almost turned it over. Gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell drives. Shot no good. And it'll be Bogle who comes away with it for the Bloodhounds. It's Brown on the near side. Entry pass inside to Powell. No good. It got knocked away, and it's going to stay right there for John Jay.
Boy, John Jay on their roster has a lot of post players that they could do a lot of work inside.
Brown, trying to find Powell right underneath, and that is taken away. I think it was Grant underneath for the Bearcats, and now Encarnacion will have it on the far side. Ball swung around the perimeter. Altamirano on the near side corner. And that shot was blocked, and it's going to be Powell who comes out away with it for John Jay. Baccarella picks her up. Now over to Edwards, far side to Simmons. Simmons now inside to Powell. Powell going to work, gives it off to Brown, wide open at the free throw line, and she's able to knock it down.
Well, again, John Jay, whatever they wanted to do, they've been successful tonight. That was just a mid-range shot.
So Encarnacion has it. 7.5 remaining here in the ball game. Takes the pick from Grant. Nope, instead goes right. Encarnacion shot a bit too strong. Brown comes away with it for John Jay. Brings it right into the key. Crossover move. Nice spin. Finishes with the right hand.
Yeah, Brown getting away with turning it over. Referee didn't call anything, but she turned it over.
3 of 6 from the field. 6 points in 8 minutes for Brown. Encarnacion now inside. McCray can't finish. Shot no good. And Powell comes away with it for John Jay. Brings it into the front court. Encarnacion out on her. Over to Edwards, into the corner to Simmons. Looking for options. Simmons into the lane. Cross court pass to Bogle. Mid-range jumper here on the near side. Too strong, and foul there is underneath as Baccarella came away with it. And the foul there is going to be at number 3, Ayanna Edwards.
David McCray has been off too offensively, joining Castillo. Paige Traynor has 0 points. So you put these in a blender, and you have 3 things that normally don't go, this way for Baruch. Lisa Leong has been off. So these are things that are rarities for Baruch this year.
The Bearcats only shooting 20% from the field. As that entry pass was knocked away by Simmons. Up ahead of the pack is Kelly. Nice find by Simmons. Little step over move and finishes against Baccarella. Smart for Baccarella not to foul, though.
Boy, Simmons looked like Joe Burrows there, finding a cutting receiver for a touchdown.
Encarnacion knocks down the 3 from the far side wing.
Well, that's good because she plays with 100% every single game as well off the bench for Baruch. So she's contributing.
And Kelly almost lost it at the midway point of the court as an entry pass into Brown. Brown from the elbow, and she's able to knock that down. And Coach Day wants to talk things over with 5:35 remaining. We'll be right back with more Baruch College basketball. So both teams break the huddle here. 5.5 remaining, 5:35 to be exact. Baruch trail large. Really just got to start working on stuff, Joe, for the playoffs.
Yeah, again, short memory. Hate to be cliched, short memory, and they just have to really play as hard as ever in these final 5 minutes and 30 seconds because everything is a carryover.
So Altamirano in that far side corner gives it up top to Encarnacion. Trying to get the entry pass to Grant. The foul there is going to be on Powell. A little bit over the back, so it'll stay right there for the Bearcats.
Playoffs are always a new season, so everybody's 0-0. And again, Baruch has had a great year, and they just, again, you're going to get games where things don't work. But again, short-lived.
Altamirano shot way short. Baccarello tries to save it, and they're going to say it went out of bounds, so it'll go back to the Bloodhounds.
Baruch Nation, make sure you don't miss the men's game tonight. Men versus John Jay. Men have been playing extraordinarily well, and must-see TV as they approach the playoffs as well.
And if they win, they will clinch the top seed in the CUNYAC. Don't forget to turn out early. It's Bearcat Appreciation Night, so Michael Gannon, the only senior on the men's team, will get a nice little presentation before the game tips off.
Coach Alisi, again, has a future here to make a lot of noise with some of his returning players.
And you got to like their chances in the CUNYAC too, Joe. They'll have home seating throughout. As the three there from Kelly on the near side is good.
Well, everything that John Jay's trying to do is working. And again, they have a nice team, but again, Baruch will rebound. They will find a way.
So now Simons has it on the far side. Her shot from the free throw line, no good. Grant comes down with that rebound, and now Encarnacion can walk things up for the Bearcats.
David, by the way, getting back to the men, every newcomer to Coach Alisi's attack has done well. Won an ensemble.
And a three there from Altamirano on the near side is good. Yeah, to that point, Joe, you bring in both Nicholsons. You brought in Osorio. You had the bigs already. You brought in Akil Vaughn. And they've all played an intricate part of the season.
Yeah, Coach, we talk about Coach Alisi with tremendous depth, front court, back court, and, he is an incredible in-game coach. And all this in a blender, and I would not be surprised if they have looked at the team to beat.
And on top of the newcomers also providing, you have the newcomer and Devin Nicholson, your leading scorer. You brought back huge players that were part of your rotation from last year. You're talking about Purisic, Fair, Donnellan, and Guy. Excuse me. So you have that depth already added on top of what was already a solid core. You're talking about 4 of your 5, 3 starters and a solid bench player.
And Purisic has upped this game to where now he's a perimeter threat. And Muhammad Guy, also a dual threat, both inside and out. And Akil Vaughn, again, my favorite, who is a pro body, a mountain impersonating a man, or vice versa. Sean Donnellan, a year older. And again, you can go across the board. And Jamal Fair, the veteran, does it all. Just from one to, down the roster, Baruch is stacked, if you will. And if I'm an opponent, I'd hate to come into the arc at playoff time. Won't be pretty.
And someone will have to do it about a week from tonight here at the Arc Arena. We'll see who gets that opportunity. But they'll be coming in against a toughened, and hardened Bearcats team as Kelly knocks that one out of bounds on the near side.
Baruch putting up 129 points in one game, 123 against Medgar. Come on. I would be running for the hills if I had to play Baruch at home at the Arc.
9-2 here. Made this place a bit of a fortress, have they, Joe?
It always has been, yeah. It always has been. But if you're a Baruch sports fan, you're always treated to victories. But this year is special. You have such student athletes that are really exceptional.
And you're talking about last year going 20-8, coming off a CUNYAC championship and an NCAA playoff berth where they went down to Virginia, to then come back and go 19-5, potentially 20-5 tonight, depending on how tonight goes, and really putting yourself in contention for another CUNYAC championship.
Well, the key is when you get to the NCAA to win games, and hopefully Coach Alisi will do that this year, God willing, and that would really be a precedent for Baruch to win one or more games in the tournament.
Powell inside. They're going to call a travel underneath, and it's going to go back to the Bearcats with 58.6 remaining here in the ball game.
Well, let's see if the Lady Bearcats can, do some nice things here in this final minute. And again, we keep saying, go into the locker room, have a Gatorade, and start thinking about Saturday.
So Simmons over to Edwards. Edwards goes baseline, gives it off to Kelly. We're in the final 30 seconds of action here at the Arc. Powell over to Edwards. Edwards jumper from the mid-range is good.
Well, if the families of these Lady Bearcats are watching out in Baruch Nation, congratulations to your student athletes. Great year. Tonight, tough matchup, but we are all excited about what's ahead. And again, some really good student athletes playing on this court for your Lady Bearcats.
So that will do it. Your final score here tonight. John Jay 87, Bearcats 34. Don't forget to stay tuned. About 30 minutes at close to around 7:30, you'll see John Jay face against Baruch in the men's game. So definitely come back for that. We'll step aside here between games and be back on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting.